Alright, happy Thirsty Thursday, everyone. We're back. It's Paula. It's me. Oh my gosh, you're here. Hopefully. I don't even know if anyone's watching right now, so. Anyways, today we're going to be talking about beer yeast, and before I get started even drinking, I wanted to mention the fact that just for you, our live viewers, we have a discount code, and the code is LIVE, L-I-V-E.
Except for it's backwards for them.
Is it backwards?
It's always backwards.
Evil.
No. Just live.
Yeah. Just live. If you use code LIVE through tomorrow, so through the end of tomorrow, you can get 10% off anything in our store. So yeah, just for people that are watching this. What are we drinking today, Paula?
We are drinking a German wheat beer today, because you inspired me by some of your questions about the yeast yesterday, and I thought this would be a good one for today.
Cool. Well, I'm excited. Cheers. I love this job.
It doesn't suck.
Did you hear me? I was like,
yes, I did.
I like it.
What do you taste?
Not super hoppy. Kind of sweet.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Are you getting any citrus?
Yeah.
Like if you do one more, your second drink is always like your full flavor drink. Oranges.
Yeah, orange.
Yummy.
Yeah, so like a sweet, orange, not super hoppy beer. I think it's good. I think what I've discovered from these Thirsty Thursday lives is that I like everything.
And you like wine.
I do. Yay.
Yeah.
The more you know.
No, I'm a big fan of wheat beer. I mean, I drink it probably more in the summer than winter. I kind of have like a summer-winter drink schedule. But when we were talking...
Paula's in there with like I'll pencil you in with beer.
Well, I like put my white pants away and I. But
you're brave wearing white pants in general.
I do in the summer, so this is more of a summer beer for me. But with your question, I think, we've also seen kind of an uptick in even Oktoberfest sales. We've got American wheat kits. We have the wheat. There's about 3 or 4 different German kits that you can do. Not all necessarily wheat, but in the same kind of family.
Cool.
Okay.
Alright, so first off, I'm just going to start with the different brands that we carry. So there's 4 main brands that we carry for
dry yeast.
For dry yeast. Yeah, thank you for that. And that's going to be Lallemand, Fermentus, Mangrove Jacks, and Marabrew?
I call it Marabrew, but
Marabrew.
doesn't mean it's right.
So those are going to be the 4 main categories or brands that we sell. And then we also sell the Wild Brew, which is a category within Lallemand. So I'll talk a little bit about that. And Paul is also here to give a little more insight on
I'm just going to chirp
everything.
in as needed and drink my beer.
And drink your beer.
Okay.
All right. So first off, we're going to have Lallemand yeast. And I'm just going to go through a couple different types so that you can see different properties of them and get an idea of like which ones would be used for what beer. The first one is going to be Abbey. Let's see. That's right here. It's going to look like this. Now, Abbey it originated in Belgium, and it is used in doubles, triples, and quads. So beers that would have like a higher,
like big muscles.
Yeah, like a higher alcohol percentage. Its flavor is going to have like a pepper, banana, that type of aroma, not flavor.
Okay.
So I thought that was kind of interesting. So Abbey is going to be our first one. Second up, we have Munich. Cool. Got it right. This is used in wheat beers. Hey! Do you think they used it in this? They could have.
They could have been, yeah. They could have. It's fantastic.
Yeah. So it originated in Bavaria, and it has a medium to high attenuation.
Ooh, look at you with the big words. By all means, tell us what that means.
Attenuation is the percentage of sugars that's consumed like during the fermentation process. So basically, the higher attenuation that you have, the higher like specific gravity that you would have, and then the higher alcohol content you would have. So
Look at you spitting all these brewing terms.
I know, I've learned a lot.
I like it.
And I just so everyone knows, I practiced the word attenuation like 47 times before I did this.
I love it.
I was like, attenuation. I once gave a presentation and I couldn't say disciplinary. I kept saying disciplinary. And I got first still, so hey.
Okay. All right. Well, your practice paid off. Your practice paid off. I had to ask.
Alright, so next up we are going to have Nottingham, which is this guy right here.
That is our biggest seller right now.
Is it?
Yeah. What are people brewing?
Stuff with Nottingham.
I guess.
It's funny that you asked that because I wish that I could give you a specific answer, but Nottingham's used for like a wide variety of brews.
Which explains why it's so hot right now. We're selling them in 5s at a time.
5s.
Yeah, I was picking the other day because we were low on staff, and it was just 5. Nobody's buying one.
Yeah. Well, I know I was back in the warehouse like a couple months back, just putting yeast in packets for days. So, yeah, Nottingham. It's highly flocculent.
Oh, another word. Go ahead. Tell us what that means.
So flocculation is basically the property where yeast comes together and then sinks to the bottom of the fermenter. So it's a desirable trait.
Yes.
And it also, this particular yeast, it produces low concentrations of fruity esters. So basically it'll like help accentuate any fruit flavors in your beer. So.
Which I am not against, by the way. Okay.
All right.
My job today is really good to stand here and
Yeah, stand here.
sharpen and drink.
So next up we have American West Coast. This guy.
The rye.
Yeah. So it looks like that. The American West Coast Ale. What do you think it's used in?
What do I think it's used in?
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you know?
American West Coast Ale.
Just ales.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just American ales.
Well, that was not tricky.
You tried. It was a trick question. I was trying to psych her out.
I'm like, what? Ales.
So it's selected from the Siebel Institute. I think it's either Siebel or Siebel. Basically, it's like this institute that they've been making curriculum and like brewing techniques and things like that for 140 years.
That's a really long time.
Yeah, and it's based in Chicago. And so basically what it is like an entire like brewing school mixed with like not supplies, but like knowledge and science essentially. So they like look into the science behind brewing. So it's really cool. So that being said, it's like a really quality yeast because it's picked specifically like from their collection.
That's pretty fancy.
Yeah, I thought so.
Okay.
So it's a neutral strain and it has high flocculation. So like I said, that desirable trait where it goes to the bottom.
I challenge you tonight at dinner to work that word into your dinner conversation with your husband.
Hey, babe.
I want to hear this.
All I can think of is like a flock of sheep. Like
I don't know. Tomorrow I'm going to ask.
What the flocculation? Like, I'm like, be like, what the flocculation are you doing? He's like, what?
That's your homework.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. That's funny. Yeah, so it's used in a variety of American-style beers, and it accentuates hop flavor and aroma. So if you want something to turn out super hoppy, then that could be
all the rage.
Yeah. Okay, so next up we have Verdant IPA. You were saying that this was...
That's really new. We've just started carrying it maybe in the last 6 to 8 weeks. In fact, we don't even have a label for the pick location. It just has a handwritten note. So that's how new it is.
So it was made in a collab with Verdant Brewing Company out of the UK. So that's kind of a fun fact. It produces hop forward and malty beers. Is that more of like a UK style beer?
I mean, the hoppy thing is kind of universal everywhere, but malt forward, yes.
That's kind of what I thought. I don't really know how I had that vibe, but I just kind of like sensed
you
that
were vibing it well.
And then it has prominent notes. So this yeast will feature prominent notes of apricot, and then undertones of tropical fruit. So kind of different layers there. Next up, and not the last of our Lululemon brewing, like brewing yeast, but like the last one we're going to talk about is Kolsch style yeast. So this one right here. And the Kolsch style yeast is going to be used in Kolsch. You can see that we have this kit right here. This is our Kolsch kit. So probably features a yeast that's similar to that.
Yeah. And if you've never done a Kolsch beer, I mean, you talk about just an easy drinking, nice yellow gold color, moderate ABV.
Yeah, let's see.
Drink it cold.
ABV is going to be like around 4%. So
it's a nice beer. It's easy.
cool. I thought something that was interesting with the Kolsch is they said this is like every type of yeast. So many factors can change. So like, if one small you can brew the same exact thing. You were talking about this yesterday.
Yes.
You can brew the same exact beer with all the same exact ingredients, and if one factor changes just the slightest bit,
Right.
then it'll be a different result. So now with Kolsch yeast, if the fermentation temperature is a little bit colder, it'll have a more neutral flavor. Whereas if it's a little bit warmer, it'll be more estery, fruity flavor. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. I think, if you look at the same recipe with one or two variables change, you're going to see a difference in color, taste, smell, and all of it can change. I mean, it's the same thing, I definitely go more toward wine with my knowledge, but, you can do the exact same recipe, same fruit, pick at the same time, do 2 different yeasts, and have completely different wine when you're done. Same thing with beer.
Isn't it kind of funny to think that you make all this beer and the thing that changes it is like these small
The little granules?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Somebody says greetings from Germany. Well, that's kind of cool. Yeah. And somebody says, I am going to brew tomorrow an Imperial IPA 9.2.
Ooh, that's serious. 9.2.
Yeah.
Go for it.
What type of yeast are you using?
There we go.
Let's see. Is it, well, doubles and triples, that's a little bit different than Imperials, but anyways, let us know. Moving on, we have our Wild Brew collection. So the Wild Brew collection is new, right? So
In the last year.
yeah. So it's a Lallemand, it's like a subcategory of them, basically. I'll talk about 2 of them here. First up, we have our Philly Sour. I really like this package because my favorite color is yellow. That's just a side note.
And there you go.
So it has refreshing acidity and notes of sharp citrus. Like a sharp citrus intense flavor. So
But you remember when you tasted the sour?
that's what I was just
You
gonna
guys
say.
brewed it. Right.
And we used, I believe this is the...
I know you used that.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is the yeast that we used. And it was, if you guys haven't seen the live where we go back and look at our previous live where we taste the pineapple sour, I have this screenshot of Paula's face. She's like, taste it, and yeah, it's exactly like that. She's like, and I just like want to make it my desk cup. I should make it my
I'll tell you,
screensaver.
the first drink I wasn't ready for. The second drink got better. The third drink I was ready.
Yeah,
It was
and
good.
you're like, let's go.
All right, let's go.
That was a good beer though.
Agreed.
Yeah, so
Agreed.
that's the type of beer or type of yeast that we use in the pineapple sour. And then the Helveticus, which is going to be like this. This is actually used in kettle souring. So kettle souring is basically normally in most brews, at least the ones that I've done, you pitch the yeast at the end. And I remember being really confused when someone says that you pitch yeast. I was like, you throw it away? Like, what? After all?
You sprinkle it.
Yeah, anyways. So when you sprinkle the yeast at the end, normally you do it after the brew. But with kettle souring, to my understanding, you do it like during, like
Oh, I don't know.
in the actual, yeah. So I was reading it, and you actually put the yeast in like before the whole process is over, and then it takes like a day or 2, depending on what you're going for to sour, and then you do the rest of the process.
Pretty cool.
So, yeah, and it's so traditionally sour beers were made by like putting them in a barrel.
Yeah.
And this speeds up the process by like 1 million. So if you don't want to wait
Right.
forever.
I mean, I remember 2-3 years ago, people would come in and say, I want to do a sour, and I'd look at them and I'd say, it's so complicated, I can't even help you. and we'd have to do a special order of things, and it just took forever. It was a thing.
Yeah.
Nobody wants a thing. So, these are a godsend.
Yeah. It said that it's like up to 48 hours is, and I mean 48 hours is nothing.
Yeah, what's that?
Somebody says I'm gonna use US 05 yeast. Let's see, for dry hopping. Cool. Sorry, I it's kind of hard to read your comments, so sorry if I messed that up, but
Okay.
sounds good.
Well, the US 05 and US 04 are standard, fantastic yeasts, and I've never had anyone be upset with those.
It's actually funny because you had perfect timing with your comment because that's what we're talking about next.
Oh, all right.
Before we talk about it though, I do want to pull up my backwards sign again.
Go ahead.
All right, if this isn't backwards, I'm sorry, but LIVE, LIVE is our discount code for 10% off through the end of tomorrow. So make sure
10% off everything.
anything,
Mhm.
anything in the store.
Or all the things.
Yeah,
Just buy all the things.
whatever you want.
Okay.
Buy one of every yeast.
That'd be fun.
All right, so Fermentus is the next brand of yeast we're talking about. Now, we do have like the small packets available, just like all the other ones. But what Paul and I really wanted to highlight is these bad boys. We have 500 gram yeast. So there's 3 types that I brought out, which are like 3 most common types that we sell. And that is the SO4, the S33, and the WB06. I just wanted to, I did a cost analysis because I'm all about like saving money when you can, right? So if you brew a lot, this right here is 43 times more than a packet like this, right? And so if you break it down, if you buy in bulk, you actually will save $180 to $200 in yeast costs over 43 batches. So like, that's insane.
If you're brewing or you have friends that brew or neighbors that brew, it's the way to go.
Yeah, for sure. And something that somebody was telling me is that you, like the way that you would store these is you can break them apart and keep them in like bags.
It's good if you can vacuum seal.
Yeah, vacuum seal them
And keep them in
the
fridge.
Not the freezer, the fridge.
Fridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool, vacuum sealed. You want no air to them and a good temperature.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought that was a really good deal. And then we also have a similar like style available in the Mary Brew ones. So they do draw, lager, Weiss, and ale. Yeah, I got all 4 of them here. So they look like that. Trying to fit in the shot.
And those run what, $59?
These are $59.99.
Okay.
I believe that there's some around like the $70 to $80 price range.
It's still a good deal.
Yeah, still a good deal. But yeah, you can save a ton of money doing that. And then the last type of yeast that I want to talk about today is the Mangrove Jacks. So Mangrove Jacks is going to look like something like this. This particular one is the French Saison. It's top fermenting and it's highly
You almost? There we go, you got
highly
this.
attenuative. No, I didn't.
No.
Attenuative.
There you go.
Highly
There we go.
attenuative.
There we go.
It will give like spicy, fruity, peppery notes. I actually so when I was brewing with Bad Dudes Brewing, I don't know if you guys are watching this, but when I was brewing with Bad Dudes Brewing, I had a Saison and it was so good.
I love Saison.
It was literally like it was one of my favorite brews that I've ever had. So thank you for letting me try that.
Shout out. Okay.
The next type of next type of yeast is the Bavarian Wheat. It has a strong clove aroma. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't really...
That's because you've never even tried a Christmas ale.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
We're gonna have to get you over to that side of things so you can kind of have a frame of reference for that.
Gotcha. It has a creamy, soaky mouthfeel. And I thought that one of the interesting things about it is that it strips most caramel flavors away. So like if there's anything sweet in your beer and you use this type of yeast, it won't really come through. But like chocolate and roast flavors will. So
All right.
I thought that was kind of cool because like if you go in and you're like, oh, I'm gonna make this like typically I think like amber ales are supposed to be more sweet and whatever. You're like, I'll just use this yeast like whatever. Your beer
It's gonna kind of strip what you were looking for.
So just it's interesting how the more that you learn about the different types, you can be like, oh, I definitely don't want to.
You
do
could
this,
delve into this
or I
for
really
a long
wanna-
time.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. This took me like quite a bit to like look through.
I know. I was like, you go, girl. I'll bring the beer.
Paul was like, that's below my pay grade.
I totally have you here.
I'm just kidding. Okay. She's never been like that, by the way. Okay, last but not least, we have the Belgian Ale Yeast, which is going to be this one. It's a spicy, it has high attenuation, and it's used in Belgian strong, golden, and strong dark ales. Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, these are all on the website. But what I do want to mention that these are just a kind of a sampling of the dry yeast we have. We also carry the liquid yeast, and we do carry White Labs. And so for White Labs yeast, it's typically a special order situation. We could want to get it very fresh to you. If you're coming here to do a curbside carry out, give us a few days in advance. We'll make sure we have it on the next truck and we'll have it for you. It's pretty easy to ship this time of year. It's cold.
Yeah.
But we do take them off our website in the summertime because we just don't ship them in the summertime. If we can't get something quality to you, we don't get it to you at all. So the White Labs is available for $8.99, and we would special order that. So there'll be a little delay in shipping. But these guys, we have them all here all the time.
Yeah, so I mean, plenty of stuff to play around with for sure.
Here's your homework.
And you were saying something too. I did want to mention about the mangrove jacks. So like that's kind of a like not a super common yeast in the Midwest area.
It's not because it's not we don't get it from our local distributor, and so most of the beer stores in the area, like the Midwest area, we all use the same distributor, and so we get this from a different one. And so mangrove jacks is not something you're going to find everywhere, but I do know that the guys at the Firelands Homebrew Club have come in and asked for it a number of times, and they use it all the time, and they use it with success, and they like it. Many of them do. I don't want to say everyone, but it's a nice addition to the collection we have because we do want to offer all the quality yeasts that are out there.
Awesome. And then I just want to mention one more time for anyone that's like tuning in, my good old sign.
Okay, I like this sign.
Live, Live, 10% off anything and everything on our store through the end of tomorrow. So make sure to take advantage of that. And with that, I think we're about done.
Yeah.
Happy Thursday to everyone, and we will.
I think we'll see you on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, that's actually what I was gonna say. I was like, we will see you
On Christmas Eve.
We should do something fun, like, we should, like, have hats or something.
We're not fun already?
Well, yeah, but we should have, like, something Christmas, and it'll be in the works, don't you worry.
Not to worry.
Alright, bye, guys. Let me find the end button. No, actually, seriously, where's the, oh, there we go, bye. I couldn't find it.
I can't read any of those comments.